I have a dream.
We choose to go to the moon.
There's cities to be built, and there's a world to be helped.
I regard myself as a soldier.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight
from where the zipper ends, round under my back to my bunghole, down where your nuts hang.
I guess all of you would say this about your mother.
Okay. Shut the fuck up. Welcome to History Squirt. I'm Ron Thompson.
And I'm Jason.
All right, and what have we got this week, Jason?
We're going to talk about Marcus Aurelius. Do you know who Marcus Aurelius is?
I do. We were just discussing that he was in Gladiator. So, yes, I do know who he is. He's the old man.
He's the old man
died of feeble death at the hands of his son. His son just cuddled him to death in the movie.
Yes.
In the film.
That's a complete lie, I'm pretty sure.
A fabrication.
A complete fabrication, yeah. That's not how he died.
All right.
That movie is complete bullshit. I don't know how else to explain it. Right. Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 AD, after Jesus.
Okay, 121, yeah.
He's a Stoic, and you know what a Stoic is? Yes.
Yeah, Stoicism. It's ancient philosophy.
Yeah.
I think there's many. If you go on Instagram, there's lots of Marcus Aurelius Stoicism quotes.
Yes.
To help you have a better day.
Yes. You like those ones? Good. Smart guy.
They're all right.
It basically means being calm and without emotion. So you don't want to show your emotion. He was a member of the Nervi Antonii dynasty and was the last of the 5 good emperors.
So 5 good ones?
No, there was a time where they got 5 in a row, and it was very exciting. You had 5 good ones in a row. To have 5 good kings in a row, it's pretty rare. Genetic lottery losers usually there's a bad egg.
Yeah,
somewhere.
normally just get a bunch of bastards.
So he was the son of Marcus. I'm pretty sure it says Anus. Let's be honest, it's Annius. So that's Anus, isn't it?
Anus. Anus, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Anus, yeah. So that's his dad, Marcus Annus Verus. And he was related by marriage to Trajan and Hadrian, who were 2 of those 5 good emperors.
Okay, so we're in the emperor times. This is after the formation of the Republic.
We are after the formation of the Republic.
Okay, so his dad wasn't an emperor.
No, his dad was not an emperor.
Okay.
But see, the interesting thing about the 5 good emperors is none of them really had sons. None of them, except for Marcus Aurelius. So every time they have to adopt children to be their new emperor. So they kind of get to choose who the new emperor is.
Well, it's not just 1 for 1, though. They don't just get to... I thought the emperor was elected.
No. So Hadrian...
How's this a republic? It's basically just a kingdom.
It's not a republic at all. We're no longer a republic. We're an empire now. Republic's over.
Oh.
Republic ended.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, Republic ended 5 emperors ago. Maybe more.
Okay.
So Hadrian, who was a Roman emperor, had an adoptive son named Aurelius Caesar. And he died in 138 AD. Okay, so he'd adopted a son, and that son is now dead. So he adopted Marcus Aurelius' uncle, Antonius Pius, as his new son and heir. In turn, Antonius adopted Marcus Aurelius and Lucius, the son of Aurelius Caesar, to be his 2 sons. So everyone's adopting everybody else.
Wait, Aurelius Caesar had a son? I thought you said that he didn't have a son.
No, so Hadrian adopts a son. That son dies, so he adopts a new son, Antonius Pius.
Oh, Hadrian. Yes, okay.
He then adopts 2 more sons to be his heirs, who are Marcus Aurelius and Lucius, who was the son of the other son that just died, Aurelius Caesar.
Oh, okay. So the son who died was old enough to have a kid himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he did this. Yeah. And then Hadrian died a year later, and Antonius became the emperor, which means that Marcus is now heir to the throne.
I think I've just got one fact.
Yeah.
Which is Hadrian's Wall
Yes.
Is that this Hadrian?
It is that Hadrian.
And but that's in Britain.
It is in Britain.
That's all I know.
Okay.
Something about the Picts or something.
Yeah. He was a Roman emperor. He had to fight people. In his time, he fought the Britons.
Built a small wall.
Built a wall. You know how I love my walls.
Yeah, big fan.
Big fan of big walls. Walls are good. So immediately after Hadrian's death, Antonius approached Marcus and requested that his marriage be amended. So Marcus was betrothed to Hadrian's daughter, but Antonius suggested that be annulled and he marry his daughter, Faustina. Okay, so the emperor has now cancelled his marriage and remarried it to his daughter. So this is Marcus Aurelius' wife.
You'd be pretty annoyed if, like, the previous daughter, the one who's the daughter of the current emperor, like, she's hot as. And then he's just like, no, you should marry my daughter. And his daughter's just like an absolute dog. He's just like, fuck, man. Really?
Maybe that's why he was pro it. Maybe the first one was ugly and the second one's hot, and that's why he was like, yeah, okay, I'm in straight away. Because he seems to not argue about this very much.
Hopefully that's what's going on here for young Marcus.
But he was Antonius, the new emperor, his adopted father, demanded that he reside in the house of Tiberius, an imperial palace, and that he would have to take up habits of his new station. So it was basically, he wasn't a royal or part of the royal line. So he's sort of been adopted into this family. So he's trying to get him to be more royal, but he's a Stoic.
Makes sense, yeah. So he's got to do whatever royals do. I don't know.
I've got a quote here for you that he said. He said, "See that you do not turn into a Caesar. Do not be dipped into purple dye, for that can happen."
What does that mean?
Purple dye implies that he's a royal. So he's basically saying that you can get consumed by the fact you're a royal and get a bit out of control.
Yeah, it makes sense. Delve too much into lifestyle, start doing a bit too much coke.
Yeah, start doing too much coke, you get in the coke lifestyle, all of a sudden you're down a long and lonely path.
All of a sudden you're, stealing phones from your place of work to to sell them to China.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens too.
That happens to people.
It happens. So he's consul twice while he's young, once when he was 19 and a second time in 145 AD. So he was like prime minister at 19. And he held a bunch of imperial positions. I'm not going to go through them. There's all sorts of weird ones. But, the praetors, the consuls.
What do you reckon you would have done as a prime minister at 19 years old? Cheapened durries and VB for everyone?
You're probably... What would I have done at 19? Yeah, that's probably what I would have done at 19. But he doesn't really have power, though. Like, it's kind of like his dad's the emperor, so the emperor really decides what to do. It's really more of like he's leading the Senate, but the Senate really doesn't have power at this stage.
Yeah, it seems powerless. They just give suggestions to the emperor. Is that kind of what they do?
Yeah,
it's like, the people want this, and he's just like, yeah, nah, fuck that.
Well, yeah, basically. Kind of. Like, they're supposed to represent people, and he sort of listens to them and goes, yeah, okay, that's a good idea, but no. They can help him raise money and administrative services of the empire.
He's just like the slaves, they actually want to be free. And he's just like, no, actually the slaves give us great economic prosperity, so we certainly can't do that. But tell them that I've heard what they've said, and and I don't give a fuck.
Tell them we'll talk about it in 10 years. Right, where were we up to before that? I don't know what I'd do if I was 19. Like, you'd do stupid shit, wouldn't you? Declare war against someone. I just get an army and start conquering someone, probably.
I think we'd be able to take New Zealand pretty easily, I reckon. How many people they got? Like 5 mil? Something like that. Not that many.
Yeah.
And really close too. We'd have a much bigger navy, I imagine, than them.
Yeah, crossing seas
absolutely
is not a good idea,
destroy them.
No.
Yeah. No, I think we'd be alright though. Yeah, but it's only like a 3-hour flight, so you could just fly planes over there, bomb them.
Yeah, but it's logistics though. No, it's logistics.
I reckon we'd be fine. I reckon we'd just absolutely destroy them. And then I think we'd
Defensively,
just
they
turn.
can.
They've got. I mean, it is beautiful over there, and they've like really kept their environment pristine. But I think like let's just keep our environment pristine, and we'll just turn their island into a sort of industrial wasteland. That's probably what I'd do.
Make a garbage island. We'll make the North Island a garbage island or something.
Yeah. And then what I'd do is I'd make the taxes for like we'd manufacture everything over there, right? And then I'd make the taxes really high on the stuff that came in, and people would be like, "What the fuck? Like we own this country now, or whatever. Like it's just Australia." And I'd be like, "No, it's coming from overseas. You know, there's levies, surcharges you got to pay." And then so I collect a lot of tax revenue that way.
If you're just going to do that, just enslave them. Don't sugarcoat it with just giant taxes. Just enslave them and get it done. Get it over with. If we're just going to mistreat the people, make them work, make it so they can't buy anything, let's just enslave them. Come on.
I don't think that we can get away with that in this particular time.
So you're towing the line, really, is what you're doing. Like you're telling them, like, well, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to let them be able to buy anything. I'm going to make them work all day. They're going to industrialize so that, like, you know, everyone works. And how is this? You just don't want to use the word slavery.
Yeah, sort of like what they do in China, where they have the big working camps.
Yeah,
and like people have to leave their families and stuff, and they have to come and work in these big camps. And they sort of like they only get to go back maybe like, you know, a couple of times a year, and they just live in tents outside the factory. Sort of like that, but it's their choice. But they earn so little money that they sort of can't really do anything else.
You might be a terrible person. Yeah, you might be a terrible person.
Did you hear about those like the Apple factories, whatever, like where they had this factory where this guy tried to jump out of the like second or third story and kill himself because like his living conditions were so bad and he just hated life so much, right? Tried to kill himself. So instead of improving any of the conditions of the factory, what Apple did allegedly was basically just put nets up around the building, and then they just caught people. Like if you try to kill yourself, they just catch you in net, and they just be like, "All right, back to work, buddy." Yeah, I saw what you tried to do there, but not today.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I think that really happened.
Now get back in there. Fucking brutal, dude.
It's messed up. No,
So
I heard there was
New Zealand.
there was a story in this is like a bit similar too, but there was a story in like business where it was a car company worked out they had a fault in their car, and they ran the numbers and went, okay, it's going to cost us like, you know, $10 billion to recall all these cars, fix all the issues. But if we just let the issue go, it's like 25 people are going to die, and it's going to cost us $5 billion. So they chose the option where like 20 people died. I was like, no one's going to buy that car anymore. Like, what a terrible... Like, you could have saved these people's lives, but you chose to save $5 billion. It did not look good.
Yeah.
Companies are terrible. Companies are terrible. How did we get onto this?
Good economic decision making from that CEO. CFO was probably helping out on that decision too. He's probably the one who crunched the numbers.
Oh, yeah, it's $5 billion.
Brilliant business.
Got an ad for us today, Ronald?
I do. If you're interested in advertising with History Squirt, you can email us at historysquirt.podcast@gmail.com. Or if there's anything in particular that you want to hear about on the podcast, you can email us there as well. So today's ad read. So today's sponsor is a man named Greg. So Greg emailed us multiple times asking for a shout out for his business, which is Greg the Party Clown for Funerals. Now, Greg you can now hire Greg, who is a 62-year-old clown, fully fitted out in makeup, yellowed white gloves and big shoes. And he'll show up to your loved one's funeral and soften the day with what he calls a tasteful unsaddening. First, there is a few things that Greg wants you to know. So Greg will bring drugs, but let's be crystal clear. They are Greg's drugs. He will not share them, so do not approach him and definitely don't ask him about them. Number 2 is Greg says he'll try his best not to get hard during the eulogies, but he offers no guarantees on that, citing that passionate and emotional speeches are a trigger for him. The third one is that there's absolutely no children allowed at the funeral service under any circumstances, as Greg is a registered sex offender. Now, Greg does have a few caveats on what he is willing to do or not do in this case. Greg will not make balloon animals, as he believes the animals are cursed objects created by the old gods, and refuses to invite their enviable gaze to focus upon the proclivities of the mortal coil. Greg won't stop vaping during the service. He calls it his zaddy juice, and he says he needs it to keep it 100. Greg also will not comfort mourners emotionally. If Greg comforts you, it'll be strictly sexual. Greg also has an optional aftercare service. So for an additional fee, cash only, Greg offers post-funeral sex work services. He's available to comfort the widow or the mother of the deceased, promising to produce mournful moans during a bewailing wienering. He'll come straight from the graveside, makeup still half melted, pants unbuttoned in advance. Greg describes this final send-off as a body-to-body, whole-to-whole, and spirit-to-spirit experience. So if you want to soften the blow of your next funeral, please consider Greg the party clown for funerals.
What does whole-to-whole mean?
What do you think it means?
I don't know. That's why I'm confused. One thing goes in, the other one's a hole. You can't have two holes. That doesn't do anything.
Does the thing that go in not have a hole in it?
Like, oh, mind blown. Mind blown.
You might have to ask Greg what it entails. Perhaps it's like scissoring, but with butts.
Possibly. Greg sounds like he's basically up for anything. He just needs to maybe calm it down a bit.
He sounds like a good guy, I think. I mean, I think he's quite persistent. He's emailed us, quite a number of times.
There's a lot of... Why clown? You want to go clown to a funeral, to sex work, to really anything?
I think that's just always what he's done.
Yeah.
I think he's had that as his profession. And he's 62 years old now. And I think at the end of the day, this is kind of what the life of a party clown looks like at 62 years old. I don't think no one can hire him for a children's party. He's a registered sex offender.
The party is in fact over.
Exactly.
And this is what happens. It sounds like we should make a documentary on Greg, or maybe do a historical podcast on Greg and his life.
Be pretty interesting.
We could teach the listeners about what not to do.
Would you? Yeah, that's a good idea. Would you hire Greg for the post funeral service? Would you want him to have sex with your mother after your dad's funeral?
No, probably not.
So you don't think she needs comforting?
No, I don't think she does. And a clown would be an interesting thing. Like if I was going to go down that path for my mother. I don't wish to speak badly of my mother on. Don't say anything bad about my mother. But if I was to go down the sex path after the funeral for my mother, it would not be a 62-year-old clown named Greg. Right? I just want to make that very clear that I would find a nice, respectable man for my mother.
That's true. Yeah, you'd probably actually be trying to find her love again. You'd probably respectfully wait at least a few months as well.
Look, again, if I'm going on that path, I still feel like Greg, he's not going to cut it. I think Greg needs to up his game. He should start trying to go to children's funerals, which is probably not the best idea to do that, but that's surely his market, isn't it?
I imagine there's children at children's funerals.
Yeah, that would also be a problem, wouldn't it? He's kind of screwed, isn't he? I think this is not. I think he's just got to get out of the business.
He's put himself in this position.
He has. I think Greg needs to just stop clowning around, legitimately, and.
Oh God. Puns.
And
my most hated form of joke.
All right, so what job should we get Greg? All right, so because I think this is not the job for him. It's clear that he's up for anything. He's probably going to be high and smoking continuously.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah. What else did he need? Can you reread his email for me? What else do we need?
So it can't be near, I guess, like a school or anything.
Yeah, you got to stay away from schools.
Yeah, he's going to be high as hell. Yeah, it's going to be vaping.
Vaping all the time.
He gets hard during eulogies, but if he's not at a funeral, then that's okay.
Yeah, that's actually that's not a huge issue.
No, but maybe nothing too sort of. Well, he says passionate or emotional speeches are a trigger for him. So maybe he couldn't be involved in maybe like BLM or anything like that.
Performing
that
arts
would be triggering, perhaps. No, I meant like Black Lives Matter rallies or something like that. Because that would be triggering for him.
That's not a job though. That's a rally.
No, that's true.
They're trying to get him a job. He needs a job. He needs work.
He can't be a forklift driver because he's fucked up all the time.
Yeah. He can't drive anything.
Well, I think probably what he needs to do is enroll in, if only there was a university for sex work. Maybe if he could get accredited, he could extend his career that way.
He could.
I reckon he could just do OnlyFans. I reckon there'd be people.
He could just go down. I was going to say he could just find a nice mattress, put a $50 sign up, and see how he goes that way. Because that might be a better bet than trying to get it done at funerals.
Yeah, I reckon just honestly, night security guard of a building.
Yeah,
because shit just doesn't happen most of the time, and by the time if shit did go down, and he just gets fired, who cares? He collects the paycheck until he gets fired.
Yeah, but he could do that sex work on the side while he's working the night shift.
Yeah, he's just he's still dressed as a clown. Can you imagine a clown on OnlyFans, broadcasting in front of all those how they've got the multiple TV screens in the security office. There's someone just breaking into the building and one of them behind him.
Yeah, all right. So that's our plan for Greg. He's going to work security and he's going to get sex work on the side. But we suggest stop doing it as a clown. Sex work. Oh, OnlyFans, yes, OnlyFans.
Yeah, you
should start a podcast.
Yeah, I'd listen to that.
And change his name to Ron Thompson.
Get fucked.
All right, let's get back to this episode. All right, where were we up to? Let's just go to... So, Marcus Antonius, his father, dies in 161 AD. And Marcus was left effectively the sole ruler with only formalities to follow by the Senate. So he's about 40-ish at this time by the time he takes the emperorship.
Okay, so he's not a young man.
He's not a young man, but he says he's compelled to take imperial power. Because it's believed that he had a general fear of imperial power, but felt like it was his duty. And if he didn't do it, the empire could crumble.
Okay, so he's just making excuses. He's like, I gotta do it. Look, I'm just gonna have to take the top job. It's gotta be me.
Yeah.
Otherwise the empire's gonna crumble.
So obviously he's got his brother still, Lucius. And obviously they're both the sons, but it was believed that Marcus Aurelius was going to be the new emperor. He was already Pontifex Maximus, which is actually, he's already the Pope somehow. He gains the title of Pope. It's Pontifex Maximus. He's the top religious person in the country, in the empire.
Okay. Wait, Marcus Aurelius?
Yeah.
What? He's the Pope as well?
Well, yeah, he's a Pontifex Maximus, which is...
Jesus.
The religious head of the Roman people. So it was it was a clear choice that he should have been the thing, but he declared that Marcus Verus should co-rule with him. As Verus... Hang on, nah, I completely fucked that up. Let's go to the next bit.
Wait, who's ruling with him? Who's this other guy?
So his brother. So he's got Marcus Verus. Verus, who was... Remember the guy died and he adopted two guys? That guy's son and his nephew.
Yeah.
So that guy is still around and it's his brother. So the dad's just died in 161 AD. And Marcus Aurelius is going to take the emperorship. He's going to be the emperor. He's the clear favorite. Yeah. He's the one sort of taking the rule.
Mm-hmm.
But he decides that he wants to have a co-leader with his brother.
Yes.
He's very close to his brother. They said that his brother, obeyed him like his lieutenant. And it was very rare because this was the first time in Roman history that they would be ruled by two emperors.
Pretty cool.
And supposedly Hadrian, back to our guy Hadrian, he had believed that his plan was to have the son that died, his adopted son that died, and then the next son would be Verus.
Do you think that these guys ever spit roasted a woman?
No, but you're gonna
big.
You're gonna like the next step. You know what the first thing he does when he becomes emperor?
What does he do?
He marries his 11-year-old daughter to his brother.
Oh, rough. I guess they're not related, but
they're not related.
But 11 years old is a bit too young, I think, to say the least.
Yeah. So now our emperor. He's got two emperors, but he's the lead emperor. So the first thing they do, so he marries off his daughter to the new emperor. He then goes to the Praetorian Guards and he pays them 20,000 sesterces, sorry. And that's equivalent to several years' pay.
Praetorian, it's just like, you're my guards now.
Oh yeah, he's paid off the top guards in the city. They're all like sworn to oaths to protect the emperor forever and ever. Gave him all a shitload of money. They all love him.
Good to go.
So Marcus and Lucius, I got a good story for here too. Marcus and Lucius nominated their father for deification. Okay,
to become a deity.
The Senate did not oppose the emperor's wishes, and a cultic priest was appointed as the cult of deified Antonius. So they just started a cult for their father. I don't know how you can start cults. I should have gone more into that, but it's very strange.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. So, and what were they doing to honor the father? Were they, I don't know.
They had a huge party. No, I don't think they were drinking blood. I don't know what the cult did. I couldn't understand. It was like, oh yeah, we just decided to start a cult around our
What
dead
is
father
the religion at this particular point in time?
They're pagans.
Okay,
but
so
Christianity,
it's like
Christianity's around though.
So there's multiple gods. It's like an ongoing, or like an epilogue to the the Greek gods. Because they just copied them, didn't they? They just copied them straight up. They just named them different things, right?
Yeah, they're pretty much the same.
You can't just add some dude then. You can't just be like, oh yeah, Zeus. Well, it's not Zeus. What was it?
We just talked about before that he's the Pontifex Maximus.
Yeah, I know. But you can't just
the Christian religion was like, let's be a pope. It's just...
Yeah, no, I know. But you can't just be like, okay, so we've got these gods who've been around for, since the dawn of time. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know what they had. I'm thinking of the Greek gods, but Ares and that sort of stuff. And you can't just be like, oh yeah, but my dad is pretty cool. My dad was pretty cool too. So he's a god now.
Yeah.
And we've actually got a cult who follows him. And he's the god of, I guess it would have to mean something new. Because, because I guess they already had war and love and whatever else. So, what would have been new? He could be
but they all sort of claim to be related to this person too. They're like, oh, our family descends from Athena herself. And, all that, that in Greek and Roman has always been around. They're always like, I'm related to this god person. My family is descended from...
If you started out with Hercules, whatever, and if Hercules had a kid, then, it goes down the bloodline.
Yeah, Yep, so they named him, so they've got a cult. So Antonius's fortune passed to Faustia, who was Marcus Aurelius's wife, because Marcus Aurelius didn't really need any money. And she gave birth to twin boys, Aurelius Flavius Antonius and Lucius Aurelius Commodus. Yes, that Commodus.
Commodus from Gladiator?
Yes, that Commodus.
Oh yeah. Do you think that, just back to the God talk, do you think that anyone ever claimed to be like a descendant of Sisyphus? And they were like, hey, maybe to get like jobs as like rolling rocks uphill, just been like, hey dude, like I saw you've got this big rock, you want to roll it up this hill.
Yeah.
I'm the guy, right? Like, I've got some good news for you. I'm actually a descendant of Sisyphus. Or maybe they were like, hey, I saw that you've got that hawk. Would your hawk, would you want to see what it looks like when a hawk eats somebody's liver? Because, buddy, I've got some good news for you. I guess he's like not a good one to sort of say that you're a descendant of. Well, I don't know if he's a god. I think he just was punished by the gods.
He stole fire and gave it to us. I think he's a god.
Oh, so he's a ledge. He's like a good dude.
Yeah. The reason he's getting his liver poked out is because he gave us fire.
Good on him.
And
what a
he
good
shouldn't
bloke.
have given us. Well, he just bagged him out. He's getting his liver eaten every day for us.
Well, I wasn't bagging him. I was saying it was all right. Well, and then I guess the gods probably had greater foresight than what he did. So he's like, he gave us fire, and he's like, and then the god's like, no, they're going to use it to smoke durries. It's like, no.
They foresaw it. As soon as you give man fire, they're going to start smoking shit. That makes sense. Well, actually, we've got omens here for you, right? Okay, so the twin boys were born on Caligula's birthday. But according to the astrologers, the omens were favourable, and they drew positive horoscopes for the children.
Positive horoscopes, very nice.
That's what it says, yeah.
So that's been around since back then, horoscopes. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. They were all into the movement of the planets and shit like that.
Well, I think horoscopes might be before like the wheel and shit, bro.
Yeah, Mercury in retrograde, and I think the Mercury is in retrograde at the moment, I believe. So so things are going to be challenging.
Well, it didn't work out so well because his twin brother died like at the age of 4. So the omens weren't that good. The omens weren't correct.
What did he die of?
He was just a sickly child. Well, actually, like, him and his wife had 14 children during their 30-year marriage. They had 14. They had 2 sets of twins, but only 1 son and 4 daughters outlived their father.
Wow. That was just the times back then, though. That's why you had to have, like, bazillion children.
Yeah, look.
It was also your retirement plan.
Yeah. That's a lot, though. That's brutal.
You got to have enough to marry. Well, I guess he had 4 daughters, so that's, like, good sort of bargaining chips, because he would have been able to, marry those off, and he did. He only had to wait 11 years.
Well, yeah. Actually, no, the thing was, the kids actually did kind of live lives, but died. So some of them did, like, some of the daughters got to age, married, and died in childbirth, for example.
Oh, that's all right, because I guess you've already sold them off. So, like, you've sort of...
Well, yeah, I'm saying...
I guess he's used them for what he wants to use them for.
Yeah, it's not like they all died at the age of 2 or anything. Like, I think one of the sons... I think the 2 sons died of diseases in their childhood, but some of the daughters died of... I don't know, there's a lot of daughters. I didn't keep track of what all 14 children did. It's a lot. All I know is that Commodus was a twin. They had twin boys, and the twin died at the age of 4.
Are we sure it wasn't a Cain and Abel sort of situation? And Commodus killed the other child at 4?
That's pretty brutal. But no, I don't think so. Commodus is not that much of a bad guy. We'll get into that later, though. Marcus Aurelius did all these charity stuff. He helped poor children. And was very popular with the people because apparently they lacked Pompey behaviour. So they weren't like being all royal all the time. He's a Stoic, so he's very much plain clothes, not showing off his exorbitant wealth, all that sort of
When you
stuff.
say Pompey behavior, does that go back to Pompey?
No,
Is that where that word's from?
no, I don't know where that word's
okay.
from.
Do you mean pompous behavior?
It's lacking pomp.
Ceremony and pomp.
Hang on,
Yes.
the word is chivaliter, Civiliter, and that's the word they used, and its word is lacking pomp, which I looked it up. It was basically like, not showing off your wealth.
Yeah.
The Roman people respected
I've never
them not
heard
showing
that
off their
word.
wealth. Yeah, I've never heard of it
Okay,
either.
well, I don't think I questioned Pompey because I feel like that,
Yeah, I
I
said
don't know if
Pompey,
that's a
but-
word. Pompey.
Pomp.
But yes,
Well, it's
pomp
like-
is
yes.
a word. Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about Rome. I just started saying words. He has, even though his reign is considered to be peaceful, he has a giant war with Parthia. Again, back to our Crassus thing, we're fighting Parthia again. And
Fuck the Parthians.
and the Germanic tribes to his north were continuously raiding his borders, and he continuously had to defend them. Spent most of his time addressing matters of law, as a good emperor did. He showed a great deal of respect to the Roman Senate, asking them permission to spend money even though he didn't have to as the emperor. Okay, so he was very So this is a good time to then talk about Gladiator and Gladiator 2. Because the whole theory is that Marcus Aurelius is trying to give power back to the Senate, and that Commodus is trying to take it for himself.
Yes, I recall that. Yeah.
And even though Marcus Aurelius was trying to give the Senate some power back, really, this is not.
No,
The whole
it's
plot
like
of the
he's
movie is
asking.
stupid.
Yeah, well, like he's also like I feel like he's asking the Senate, but he probably already has the plan in mind. So he's just like, going back to them sort of in good faith, or like to seem like he's giving good faith, just being like, hey, what do you think I should do about this? And they give him the answer that he wants, and then he goes away and does that. But like he was already going to do that anyway.
I don't know. I feel like he thinks he's doing the right thing, but the senators are like, well, we're not going to cross him. Like, screw that. Because in one speech, he stands up there and goes, all this imperial palace and all this stuff, it's not my possession, it's your possession. You are the people. I am just a vassal of duty to rule this kingdom. And I'm like,
Okay, so he might be a good guy.
so I think he's being a good guy, but I think it was always going to pass. No one was going to vote against him.
Okay, so he's the kind of guy who just has friends. He doesn't need a pill for anything like that.
Other things his reign was known for, there was a giant plague. Plague's never good. And he was said to be quite unwell most of the time during his reign.
So now, right, they've started, they actually see bugs as being a potential food source for people, right? So you can sort of catch grasshoppers and make them into, burger patties and stuff like that. Because insects, they're really populous. They're ubiquitous. They're everywhere. They really easy to breed. Doesn't really take much to sort of get a large amount of meat mass.
What are you
from
talking
them.
about? What are you talking about?
So they never saw these locusts, right? Or these big sort of events that happen, these famines.
Yeah.
Not famines. Plagues as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? They could have eaten these locusts, or perhaps if it was mice, eaten the mice.
I think they did. I think you'd eat anything you could.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I swear there's cricket soups and stuff around the world. I think that's definitely a thing. I don't know what that's got to do with what we're talking about. But
I'm just saying, every plague is an opportunity. That's what I'm trying to get at.
This is like the dying plague.
Oh, it's that kind of plague.
That's what you're talking about, like that? No,
I was talking
it's
about
like
locusts.
Yeah, I know you are. No, there's no locusts coming. They're just dying of illness. There's giant illness going on in his kingdom.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to eat a dead body of someone who's got
It's called the
plague.
Antonian plague. It comes from Parthia. They reckon it came all the way from China. But anyway, good God.
Ah,
yeah, so there was an
original
illness in the
Wuhan
kingdom.
virus.
Yeah, they had a bit of a pandemic themselves. during his reign. That was the quick cliff notes of the things he did in his reign. He wrote the book that you brought up previously, his Meditations.
Yes, I've heard of that before.
Now, do you know much about the Meditations?
Just a bunch of quotes. I think he looked back on his life and stuff.
The book was believed to be written between 170 and 180, so the end of his life. But it was written for himself. It's his own personal diary of how to improve himself. So it's all
which is pretty cool.
Well, it's so that no one's really actually sure where this book, when it became popular and who started reading it, because it wasn't meant to be read. He wrote this book, and when he died, someone grabbed the book and went, "Oh, I should write these down and sell them to people." But immediately after his death, it's not like everyone's like, "Oh, let's get our hands on the new book." No, it was not. It was kept, but you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm talking about? You look confused.
I do. No, I get it. Although maybe he thought his son was like a bit of a drop kick, and he was like, "I got to write this book so that he's got some money to live on." So maybe it wasn't just written for himself, but he's just sort of kept it to himself.
Kept to himself. I would suggest very good read. Even go on YouTube and just watch a 20-minute video about like how to live your life. I really enjoy it. I've always enjoyed it.
It's good stuff. Yeah, no, I'm a fan of Stoicism.
And I'm not going to go
into like Stoicism.
Yeah. No, it's very like, you get up for your duty. It's all about duty and purpose of a person, I think, and he clearly had some problems with it throughout his life. In 2012, 16,000 copies of his book were sold. In 2019, 100,000 copies were sold. That's a Wikipedia fact for the record, but...
Probably real.
It's probably real. I'm going with that. So his book's very popular still to this day, but we're not going to go into... We could do a whole podcast on his meditations if you want.
I don't know if anyone's interested in that. I feel like it's probably been done before.
Probably. So Marcus Aurelius died at the age of 58 of unknown causes.
So he only ruled for 18 years.
19 years, yeah.
I mean, like, it's a long time, but it's not, like, crazy. Because some of them rule for, like, 40 years or something.
40's big. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, 40 would be big. Yeah.
You get averages of, like, the reigns. They're generally not very long.
No, like 8. I would imagine it's pretty average.
There's a year called the Year of 5 Emperors. They had 5 emperors in 1 year.
Just kept killing each other.
Yeah, pretty much. So he was succeeded by his son Commodus, who had been his co-ruler since 166. So I've got a quote here from Dio, and it's about the end and the succession of Commodus to the throne. And I quote, "Just one thing prevented him from being completely happy, namely that after rearing and educating his son in the best possible way, he was vastly disappointed in him. This matter must be our next topic, for our history now descends from a kingdom of gold to one of iron and rust, as affairs did not for the Romans of that day."
That's pretty brutal.
Dio adds that...
So the one thing that Gladiator did get right was that he was disappointed in his son.
Yeah, his son's a fucker. His son's a bit of a
that's
fucker.
the one... So there's some historical truth there. And it's a tale as old as time, sort of the same way that your father feels about you.
No, I think this is more he's a stoic, and I think his son's a bit of a showboating, show-off person, and that would obviously not make your father very happy if he's extremely stoic person.
Yeah, recluse.
So, Dio adds that Marcus Aurelius, from his first day as a counselor to his final days as Roman emperor, he remained the same person and did not change in the least. So basically saying that power never corrupted him. Now, he also goes on to say rejection of his son's claims in favour of someone else would almost certainly have involved one, a civil war, or a disaster for future successions.
Sorry, I don't get it. What?
He's saying, so he had to make Commodus the emperor, because he's saying that rejecting his son's claim in favour of someone else would almost certainly have involved either one, a civil war, or disasters around future successions.
Yeah,
so saying if he broke the mold and chose someone else, that would cause succession problems for everyone. Like, oh, I remember that time he did that.
but he didn't. But he didn't really want to pick anyone else. Like he didn't. Sorry, he didn't really want to give it to him. But he's like, I better. Otherwise, we're gonna have some issues.
Yeah, 100%. So going back to our gladiator thing, he always meant to give it to Commodus. Always. There was never any doubt. But he wasn't particularly like, oh, this is a good idea. It was like, the other idea is worse. Like, attempting to take the throne from Commodus would be much worse than just giving it to him. Yeah,
lesser of two evils.
And Marcus Aurelius has a victory column. It was completed in 193 and commemorates all his victories over Germanic tribes. But in 1589, Pope Sextus V put his own statue on top of St. Paul.
Yeah, okay.
I just thought that was a random thing. He's got this great column, and it's been standing for 2,000 years ish. And in 1589, a pope knocks down the top of his column and puts a statue of St. Paul on top of it.
Pretty rude.
It's pretty random. But that's the end of our Marcus Aurelius story.
I didn't really hear a lot about battles in there. Like I
didn't want to go into the battles. I thought we'd avoid the battles today. I just wanted to go through sort of his life story because he definitely fought lots of battles against the Germans and the Parthians.
Germans with their Panzer tanks.
No, not those Germans.
different Germans.
No, they fought Parthia. They fought Germanic wars. There's a whole prologue of this tribe invading here and getting together with this other tribe and breaking the border and crossing the Danube and all sorts of stuff. But I didn't want to get into it today.
Vikings?
Yeah, probably.
Was he still fighting the Picts? The Saxons?
No, not really. His two main wars.
One too. There was the Picts, there was the Saxons, and there was someone else. There was a third one. Anyway, I don't know. I can only remember a little bit from medieval history. Maybe that wasn't medieval history.
Don't know. Any questions about that? Like I said, I did have to leave out all the battles. It's too long.
Let me think. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he was a ruler from a pretty young age. Prime Minister at 19 is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then ruled from 40 to 58.
Yeah. I always like in the movie how they show him as like an old man. He's not that old. Like, he's 58. It's like, he looked like he's 80.
Yeah, he looks so old in that movie. He must have been a crazy stoic to spend like the last 4 years of his life, like meditating upon his entire life and how he could be better. Like, that is crazy stoic.
Yeah, he meditated every day and so wrote down all his findings in his book. And there's a whole other thing about, you can go through the whole meditations books and how his teachers and what they did with him and how he gets the shits with them and says they're not being stoic enough. But that was definitely a Cliff Notes version of a guy's life.
It seemed relatively short. It didn't seem like he did anything from the story that you just told me.
He didn't do anything.
It didn't sound like he did anything.
He
built factories in New Zealand or something to build iPhones.
He did. He wrecked the silver, which I thought was quite weird. He
what?
He kept fucking with the silver purity. So the silver purity for like a denarius was like 82%, and he was like, no, knock it down to 79%. And then he went, no, that was a bad idea. Let's knock it back up again. So he was like, I think he was messing with inflation. And it didn't work out very well.
So they could like make more coins.
Well, yeah.
What was the other metal in there?
God, I don't know. Probably tin and aluminium or something.
Oh yeah, tin and aluminium.
I don't know. I don't know metals. Composition of Roman coins. Ask ChatGPT.
It's crazy though that they just use silver. Like think how like expensive silver is now. They're just like, yeah, let's make them all silver.
Not really.
But I guess they had a lot less coins.
Like if I
weren't talking trillions of dollars.
Dude, if I got a silver coin now, right, they're worth probably $70. That's like a 1 ounce coin is like $70. So like you could quite easily use that as currency.
Gold one. No, but I suppose, their coin, like they're probably buying like a loaf of bread, right? Or is it not? Like how much is a silver coin worth back then?
Well, they've got it's like us. They've got dollars and cents. Like they've got an ability to break it down.
Yeah, but what's the smallest denomination?
It used to be. I thought it was coppers. Isn't coppers a thing? I don't know. It's probably a
Yeah, I think
smaller
I've
metal.
I think I've got a copper coin or something.
Yeah.
Brass, copper,
So like
brass.
smaller denominations.
Rocks.
Rocks.
Rocks are the smallest denomination.
Just start trading rocks.
We
Wouldn't
used
work.
to trade gum nuts as a kid. So there was a bunch of gum trees around. We'd pick up the gum nuts and then you could trade those with each other for shit.
For
Give us
what?
a snack. I'll give you for a snack or something.
That's your plan.
You're like, here you go. No, that's what we used to do when I was a kid.
Why?
Because we had our own fiat money system.
Trading gum nuts.
Yeah.
But you'd immediately know. You'd immediately just go and get all the gum nuts and then buy everything.
Yeah, you just go and pick up a bunch. But there weren't that many.
Okay. You try your little Bitcoin scheme with gum nuts and see how it goes for you.
No, I already did it. I was a child.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yes.
How'd it go? Worked out well?
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, we just traded each other for stuff. Nothing high value.
Nothing too heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That was
Alright,
a terrible story.
I'm gonna stop the record. Thanks, man.
What?
You said that's a terrible story. I'm gonna stop the recording. History Squirt.